What the heck happened there? Good morning. Hello, Kira. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. We are here in lovely sunny Mexico, and it is a sunny, beautiful day.
It is. The sun is shining. It's hot and muggy. I mean, it's beautiful.
It is hot and muggy. I blew my nose this morning, and I've got a cold or something. I blew my ear out.
Just got COVID.
No, it
Morning, Pat.
feels like I got water in here. I can't hear, and it just sucks. And it won't go away. The pressure won't go down.
Like this.
Ah, that's what you do if you want to build up pressure. I want to get rid of
Great.
pressure.
Now I've got pressure in my ears. Just kidding. Hi, Monica. Good morning. Hi, Jeff.
Hello,
good morning.
hello.
Oilers won last night. Yay!
Do I care? No.
The only thing I enjoyed about the Oilers winning last night was a friend of mine just messaged and said, "Do you by any chance have somebody visiting from Calgary? I forgot something, and I'd like it mealed down." And I'm like, to be honest, no, I don't have any friends here from Calgary that are going home anytime soon. And after last night's win, I don't think we have any friends left in Calgary.
Who wants friends from Calgary? Sorry, you're in Calgary. We know. Yeah.
We are not. I mean, the only reason I'm even slightly an Oiler fan is because my dad used to watch it. That's it. That is all. I mean, I'm from Edmonton. That's my hometown. That's where I was born. That's where I grew up. That's where our kids were all born. But we're not sports people.
My whole thing is if you're watching the sports and they're not sending you cash, why are you watching them?
Oh, so the Circle's sending you money, is it?
Every frickin' month.
You liar. Anyways, no, we just, I'm very thankful that I married a non-sports person. My family weren't huge sports people. I mean, if there was an Eskimo game, when I was younger, it was, we would host a Grey Cup party only because we could have a party, I mean, same reason we would host a Grey Cup party here. So not because we necessarily need the Elks to win.
Oh my God, I can't believe that. The Elks. It sounds like old men. Old men throwing a ball around. We're the Elks.
Apparently the pre-game chant was "Go Oilers, go! Calgary sucks." It doesn't really flow very well.
No, but I think that should be the beginning of every single Edmonton game. Elks. The Trappers still exist there? Do the Trappers still exist in Edmonton?
And for those of you that are too young, Trappers were the baseball team.
Yeah. I remember going to a baseball game with the Mulhollands.
Yes.
And we're following this girl, and she had acid wash on her butt. And then our friend says, it's odd that they're creating things to look at people's butts at the time because it was a largish butt. And I just thought it was so true because now they cut the clothes up. I mean, everything looks destroyed. And that kind of, I think, was the beginning of that.
The Trappers have been gone for 20 years. Well, so have we, coincidentally.
Where are the Trappers now?
Actually, we've been out of Alberta or out of Edmonton longer than 20 years. We've been here almost 19.
Yeah, it's been.
Gosh, I can't believe.
Been almost 24 years since we left Edmonton.
Yeah, and I cannot believe that it will be 19 years in September. Like, that's amazing.
Yep. And we're still enjoying our life.
Still learning.
Well, still enjoying our life.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Tiff.
I think about these
Your
things.
mama's here. Say good morning to your mom.
Hello, Mom.
Look at the camera when you say that.
Hello, Mom. I was saying hello to my mom, looking at that truck.
Looking at our truck. Yeah, that's just weird.
Yeah, and no, I've been thinking about that a lot, just what our life would have been like had we continued to live in Edmonton or Sylvan Lake. I think Sylvan Lake would have been better than Edmonton, but Mexico really was the best of all of the scenarios for us at this point in our lives. Now, that may change later on. I may be a card-carrying socialist eventually. I doubt it. But at the same time,
you were well on
you
your
never
way,
know.
though.
Oh, I was. When I was younger, I left school a nut job communist, didn't even know where it came from. And I remember
now he's just a nut job.
I remember the day walking through Costco And I came around the corner and I'm like, there's no money in that. I remember the moment that it occurred to me that there isn't. Now, there is money in it if you're running the show and it's your government.
Your mom said, thanks, Christy. More training needed for my boy. I know, and I've been trying. I've had him for a long time. I'm thinking about giving him back.
Wow. Wow. We've almost been married twice as long as I was when we got married. Like, that is so crazy.
That is wild. Wild, baby.
When I'm
wild.
54, it'll be
When
3
I'm
times 18.
54. There's a
Yeah.
song like that, isn't there?
When I'm 64.
I like 54 better. That's how old I am.
But then she was just 17, if you know what I mean. What the hell is that about?
I don't know.
It's a pervert song. It's a pedophile
Which is why
song.
you like, well, pedophile.
Well, if she's under 18, legal age of this is what I'm talking about. We are making the children
talking about
babies
it.
older. No, we have previously. You know, like even now you've got the Democrats in the US are trying to make it where kids up to 30. I think you can abort them up to 30, actually. Sorry. But yeah, they want children to be up to 30. Now, I'm remembering back in the days, obviously before I was born, early 1900s,
They
late
want to
1800s.
change it to 30 years old.
Oh yeah, where you're responsible for them up to a time.
Oh, good God.
But you're not responsible for them emotionally, but you are responsible for them legally. So it's kind of dumb. It is kind of dumb. And these are actual bureaucrats that are thinking, hey, what can we do? It's so dumb.
What can we do to screw up this world even more? Have
Yeah.
all these adults dependent on their parents.
Yep. Our kids, when they left, were 16 to 17, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? 16 to 17, we did not kick them out when they were 12, which is probably a good thing. But at the same time, would 12 have been so difficult?
Yes. Because at 12, they can't even do anything on their own.
Only
Even at
because
6,
of the world that
right,
we
but
have
even
created.
at 16, they had to get
They had to be
they had to be
legal
adopted.
Yeah, it was.
It was ridiculous. So they had to go. My mom, and actually my mom did it for Shay. Kenzie did it for Spencer. So his sister mom.
His sister-in-law. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was funny too with Spencer's like, yeah, I'm gone, man. No more parents. And he went to two
Two
moms.
sisters, and oh baby, they were way tougher than I was. Not as tough as his father was, though.
No.
So
yeah, so like I said, I'm working with a stuffed ear right now. So Christie sounds far away, which is not a terrible thing. Ow.
But again, I'm not, because I could pinch him really easily. Jeff is like, prayers for the families in Texas this morning with another senseless mass shooting.
Yeah, it is funny to me too that you've got it now where teachers are kind of like, should we have guns? Should we not have guns? And you know what? I'm kind of one of those guys where I think everybody needs a gun. And I mean, obviously, an 18-year-old mentally deranged child does not need a gun. But then we've got all this mental illness. Our food is killing us. The medications are killing us. And guys, we live in a messed up world. And we just need moms and dads to start caring about their families, start caring about the child's education, about the politics.
Once in a while.
You need to care about what's going on, because if you don't, somebody who doesn't is going to raise your children. It was funny. I remember early on, I was very much against homeschooling with Zach at the beginning.
I know.
Just because I thought that you needed an education and stuff. The older I get, the more I realize nobody needs what they're selling in schools anymore. You don't need that anymore. And in the old days, in the 1800s, early 1900s, a child would go with their parent and learn what they're going to do. I mean, obviously now if you're the child of waiters and waitresses and your child wants to become a doctor, that's a different thing entirely. But in those days, if your dad was an accountant and you became an accountant, it's almost like that in Mexico, you know, with the
only it's not accounting, it's more plumbers and tradespeople.
So it would be nice if moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas cared enough about their children and their heirs to get involved and do something, because it is a terrible, awful, evil place at this moment in time. because people, such a small percentage of the population is running the show and telling us what to think, what to buy, what to stay home. That's got to stop. It's got to stop, guys.
Agreed. No, I think it's the best thing we ever did was homeschool our kids.
Oh, absolutely. And in Mexico. I mean, in Mexico, like I'll explain to you, when we moved into the last house we lived in, very soon afterwards, we were without electricity for a night. We went to sleep. It was a very hot night. And when Zach called in the morning, he was the first person to call and complain about the electricity. Our entire street was out, but Zach was the first person to call. And these people live with these types of scenarios that we, as North American, Canadian American,
would be like, tolerate it.
We would be so angry and pissed off, but here it's kind of like, you know, there's food growing everywhere here, and they don't care too much about fertilizers, etc. It just grows regardless. So yeah, I do like that we're also in this breadbasket of the world in many ways. We don't need Russia and Ukraine to sell us stuff in order to eat. So I like that. It is nice to drive by and see all the pineapple fields. I never saw a single pineapple field when we lived in Alberta. It was very strange.
You missed them.
I would see poplar forests,
wheat fields, or other grains.
The odd birch stammered in some evergreens. Never pineapples. I love pineapples. I really do.
Well, for instance, this bad boy.
That's a guanabana.
It's a guanabana, which it's not ripe. I'm not sure why John took it off.
Well, because it's big enough to get
But the other one rotted before it ripened. Yeah. I had to throw it away. So I think you need to let them ripen on the tree more.
Maybe.
Yesterday I picked off a couple that had a lot of mold and gross things on it.
Oh, it was you. Okay, good. Because I knew there was two that were missing. That were touching and very gross, and they were gone. And I thought, well,
Shirley and I were standing out there yesterday morning, and we were looking at it. And there's that one with those yellow things sticking out of it.
I believe the ants are growing little bugs, and then they eat what the bugs produce, and that those orange things on their feed something
gross.
And I went to go buy some paint from a bug place, and the paint guy said, "No, you need to go to a construction." And you need to ask for sodium something or other. I can't remember. But in Mexico, they paint the trees and the bugs don't go up the trees and then they don't ruin your fruits.
Yeah. Debbie, good morning. Are you back now? I think you are. And Jeff, when are we going to go pick mangoes? Probably not until we get back from Mexico City. I don't think, I mean, there are some that are getting pretty ripe, but I don't think they are ripe enough yet.
Our avocado tree is so far behind.
But there's a lot of avocados on it right now.
But it's about 4 months late as far as the production.
But that's okay. We will get
We've never seen this before.
We're going to figure out how to get that avocado tree healthy again.
Nice.
Oh, you know what? Because yesterday we were talking, because we're cementing our whole backyard. But then Bailey's not going to have anywhere to go potty. She's going to have to do it on the cement. And I prefer not. You're sort of here. I'm glad you're sort of here, Leslie. Thank you for joining us last night. Leslie was the only one that joined us last night. So we chatted with her for a while, and then we said, adios, good night. But around where that tree is, we can do a little bit of a...
It should be round or something. Like it
garden,
should be,
yeah. Like we'll do a little bit of an area, and that way we can encourage Bailey to use that dirt as her poopy spot.
And I can also grow sweet potatoes there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grow me a lot of sweet potatoes.
So I'm thinking, because I'd also like to plant those fig trees in dirt, like in the ground.
And those would have to be on the street, sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've got like fig trees. We have a...
Christie did pull the perfect fig.
Oh my gosh. I was looking out at the tree last night, and right at the very top, I'm like, oh, that one looks really ripe. So I risked my life going around that huge pit that we had for the cistern,
but they filled
which has been filled in. But this was 2 nights ago.
Oh, okay.
It was still open. And I went and I looked, and I'm like, oh, oh. So I came in and I washed it off and I cut the little end off because it's kind of hard and gets a little sap in it. And I took a bite and I'm like, oh my God. So I gave John the rest, but he took a little bite and gave it back to me. So I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah,
because he knows how much I like them.
Christie really likes them.
The other tree makes better figs, but it's not producing at all. It's barely living.
What we should do though is cut them and make some
Cuttings on them.
cuttings to make them so they're
Fig trees get huge though. And also we have that lychee tree that is doing well. It's just in a little bucket, so it's not growing.
And the lychees, it should be producing because it's about 7 or 8 years old and it's about this big.
Well, because it's in a bucket.
So yeah, we
need to plant those in dirt. So I guess we can along the side of the house, right, where the new fence is.
Sure.
Get big holes dug and put in the 2 fig trees, the lychee tree, lychee.
Lychees, though, I think have a lot of root mass, so it might not be good for the wall.
Well, what we could do then is put it at the back. Get rid of. I think I'd like to get rid of that Mexican almond, or at least trim it really well.
Yeah.
Maybe get rid of the short one on the corner and put the lychee tree there.
Well, we also have the guy who does our yard and does the yard work. We can have him cut the almond tree just along the fence to do that. So that way that the avocado tree has more
light. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do is get Jesse to really trim the crap out of that tree because it's way overgrown. Someone had told, Shirley was asking yesterday about a shade. Oh, and now she's here. Okay. A shade tree for her house. And I said, yeah, the sea almond is good. It does make, because she says everybody recommends that. I said, but the moringas, you grow a few moringas, they grow so fast and so thick.
Yeah.
And then they're healthy. So if you want to start using them to eat, you can do that also. So
moringa are a magical tree. They really are.
Yeah, and I said they're so easy. Just come and grab a branch, stick it in the dirt, and you got another tree.
It's called the never die tree.
Yeah, and hi Art.
Good day, Art.
Good morning from Mexico. Good morning from Mexico from us also.
Leslie says she got a phone call.
But I hope the trouble got settled.
So Art, are you coming our way? I saw you got your green card. Congratulations. Oops. Good for you.
Sharon and Dave got theirs too the other day.
Oh, wow. I think everybody's now getting their green cards. That's what they are, they're green. But you need to also get your tax ID numbers too. So it is just so weird, guys. Mm-hmm. Like they're so ass backwards, the government here. It's like, we need to have 130 million people do something and do it fast. 1 month. It's not going to happen. Wasn't my problem. It was another department made the mistake. We're sorry.
Next few days, got an extra couch. Got one better, Art. We have a whole bedroom.
We do have a bedroom.
So if you're serious and you're coming this way, you can stay here with us.
There you go. Unless you're staying for like weeks, then
yeah,
we'll set you up at first.
Wasn't my problem. It was another department.
Yeah, I already said that.
Darn departments.
So our pool, our backyard is not going to be done. We found out yesterday for about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So we've added more things.
We've added more fence.
But I don't know why he did not grade the yard first, because he knew it had to be done. The pool guy knew it had to be done, and nobody says, "Hey, maybe,
just a few days, 4 or 5."
We should grade the property first. Never did.
Hi Val, how are you? Are you back in Mexico, or are you still up in the States, darling?
Yeah. So, needless to say, our yard is going to be graded and properly drained, so that way it doesn't flood our neighbors out. And I think we do want a lot of our water to go into the drainage as much as possible.
It's very frustrating because we thought it would be done a while ago. But the changes that we're making are making that yard better and better every time we make a change. And it's going to be beautiful when it's done. So that is one consolation. The only thing is it's little Miss Taylor's birthday on Friday, and I was hoping to have the pool ready for Friday so she could have a little bit of a pool party. That ain't happening.
But next year she can.
Next year she can. Amberlin will be able to in December. And then also while we go to Mexico City, Zach and the kids, well, Zach, the whole family is staying here. And I really want the pool ready for them to be able to use while they're staying here. So I'm hoping that we can at least get from our house to the pool done, and that way they can use it.
Yeah.
Use the
Well,
pool.
we have to cover our cistern first, because at this point, the 5,000 liter cistern is quite large. And
Yeah.
it just has to be dropped in.
That's got to be a 10-foot hole.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How tall is that ladder? 8 feet at least, and it doesn't reach, so it's close. It's a big hole. Did you stand beside that cistern?
Yes. And I kind of like them up here.
Liar.
It's not huge.
It is bigger than that.
You're a liar.
Glenda, hello. How are you?
So we probably will not be going to Texas in August. So we probably should chat a bit about that too, you and I later, just to cancel stuff and make it.
Well, the only thing I have booked is the hotel.
Yeah.
I didn't book flights.
Yeah. And we also have to sell a lot this summer too.
Yeah.
So we can get more properties.
Yes, well, we've got to fix up that little 5-plex that we bought. I don't even know what to call it. It's a little apartment, but it's not an apartment. It's just it's like a weird 1-level townhome. I don't even know what to call it. It's 5 little single little studio units.
Yeah. And then also
really 4.5.
The duplex also, which will be right away.
Yeah.
So we just need to we need to lock down more business. I mean, because we're fine for a little bit, but I just want to make more. Like the house, I want everything paid for cash.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's some things even in here that we need to finish. So
like what?
Well, that picture first of all.
Oh yeah.
And
Christie hurt her back yesterday moving tiles. I had no freaking idea why she moved the tiles, but she hurt herself.
Glenda, we may not come to Texas because we're not vaccinated and we cannot cross into the States without a vaccination. The American government will not let us.
If we were American, we could.
So at this point in time, with the way the rules are, we will not be able to get into the States flying. We have no intention of wanting to drive all the way up to the States
Which
at this
sucks.
point.
I mean, I love America. I really, really do. I mean, I've been to the States more than I've been to Canada since I moved to Mexico. And it's a fun place. It feels like Canada, but it doesn't. It's so weird. It's kind of like you're in this alternate reality.
But we do have a lot to do here this summer. I mean, we do have our new little 5-plex that we want to get up and running so we can get some rentals in there. We do want to move the kids into the bigger duplex that we're buying. So we've got a few things like that we want to do too. And then just make sure that everything gets done. And business-wise, we have a lot of putting things to paper, I guess. Methods and those kinds of things. I don't even know what to call it right now. So we will make ourselves busy if we don't go. I mean, we are going to Mexico City for sure in June. I would be willing to go in September if the Agave Fest is happening again.
I don't think we need to go.
No?
We went twice. We saw everything. It's not our business. We don't need to go.
Okay. Well, then maybe we can go to Puebla or...
Sure. Or Merida.
Or go visit Glen and Tanya and
oh, that's a good idea. We
so
definitely want to go there.
Too. So we have a lot of other options. Actually, I would love to do like the Guanajuato, Querétaro, León, that little grouping of places there.
They're all within 20 minutes or 25 minutes. Good day, sir. You want to chat with him about that tree, or we'll just do that later?
Well, we're going to be home all day, so maybe we could get him to do it today.
Okay. All right. She's going to just chat with Jesse right now for a second. The nice thing is he comes every single day to work for his family. He comes here. He's like, what do you have me to do? So It's good. He cleans out all of our trees, etc. He comes and he does our yard. But very soon he's not going to have to worry about our yard anymore because it's all going to be cement and all of our pots will have plants in it instead of just stuff growing everywhere. So yeah, it's a good thing having him come because my hands are very soft. Very soft.
That's yeah, very soft.
Very soft.
Um,
I know these people that know how to fix cars and stuff. I look under a hood and I'm looking at a UFO.
even our little Spency, he's learned all those kinds of things. Did not get that from his dad. I think he got a lot of that from my dad. Actually.
Oh, absolutely. Well, look at the school he was going to. You learn systems in plumbing, and then you apply that mentality to everything.
Yeah.
And with her dad, he knew how to do stuff with cars, not the newish stuff. But even then, Spencer now has the tools to connect to the computer and read what the error codes are, etc. That's a cool thing with the cars today. But everything is made to throw away. Like that part, if you're not ticked off about that, that's not a good thing. Because now whenever you buy something, like we bought that washing machine, exact same time as our neighbor 2 doors down, exact same washing machine. Hers worked without issue. Ours, oh my gosh. And I bought a 4-year extended warranty.
Thank goodness.
And it wasn't until this last year that they figured out what the problem was. They replaced the transmission twice. Instead of just giving us a new washing machine, which would have been smart to just go to Costco and get another one that worked, we had to go through 3 years of frickin' stupid crap to find out that at the top of the washing machine, there's water, a fluid in there, and that is what now balances it. It balances out the thing. So it was so dumb. The guy's like, hey, we're going to finally replace the drum. So we have a new washing machine, but it isn't a new washing machine.
Essentially new. And that being said, I like that washing machine. I would definitely buy one again. Although someone was telling Shirley that she should buy one of those, it's one of the ones that wash and dry at the same time, but the newer versions, not the old Mexican style ones. They said that those are really good, but it takes about 3 hours for a load because it washes and dries. Now, my issue is I have a lot of items that I don't dry. So I wouldn't want something that washes and dries. I mean, I'm assuming you could stop it, but then it's kind of why.
We are getting a water softener too. We're going to get that installed. I'm sick and tired of the calcium, etc. Yeah. And that's going to make our clothes last longer as well.
I have to say, for any of you people that might drink gin, I'm not going to show you how little is left. Aviation, I quite like it.
Thank you, Shay, for bringing that. It's owned by Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. I like Ryan Reynolds. We watched a show with David Letterman on Netflix, and it's called Something About This Person Needs No Introduction. That's the name of the show. Mm-hmm. And it's an hour-long thing done at their house. And
on location somewhere. It's interesting. We watched.
I love it. I watched Ryan Reynolds' episode, and he is a nice guy. He's coming to grips, and he said something interesting about his father because he says, "I thought I hated my father, but the more I think about it now that I have children and all this stuff," he says, I really didn't get a chance to know him. And he says, I've really thought a lot about this. And it's an interesting thing how you go back in time because you always think you know your parents or whatever. But then when you think you know them, you don't really, because you don't know what the situations that they were in as children or whatever. I mean, we have an idea, but we don't really know our parents or our friends for the most part. So I thought it was a good show, and it's a great show to get to know somebody for real. And he's married to a gal named Blake something or other. She's apparently an actress. I think. And she was there, but you don't see her until at the very end when he's like, "See you, Blake," and then you just see her kind of behind the corners. "Bye, Dave." And I mean, she could have had her own episode because she is famous like Ryan Reynolds. Not maybe with the same degree of fame, but Ryan absolutely is he's a guy.
Yes. All right. Well,
what?
Hello. Oh, so there's an interesting article that we might want to read about the new RFC rule. It's time to go. It's after 10:30. We are done for the day. Thank you all for joining us. We do appreciate you taking time out of your mornings.
We really do. We don't know why you do it, but we do appreciate it.
Doesn't make sense to us, but we appreciate it.
It doesn't make sense.
All right, you guys have a great day, and we will chat with all y'all